Please do me a favor. Leave them a review. They promised me a bottle of bourbon.
Hey everyone, welcome to the S.O.B Marketing Podcast, where we celebrate the S.O.B that you are, and if you haven't figured it out yet, we mean small-owned business. We don't mean S.O.B.
Listen, we know that as a small business owner, you are working hard on the daily to keep your business fully operational while trying to promote it. And while some days it may feel like the business is owning you, if we're being honest with each other, I bet you would admit that you wouldn't give up the insanity for anything.
Our commitment here at the S.O.B Marketing Podcast is to give you the real talk, what works when it comes to advertising, marketing, promoting your business, and then what doesn't really work.
And Chelsea and I promise to always keep the conversation real. Welcome back to the S.O.B Small Owned Business Marketing Podcast. My name is Vivian, and I am here. I'm one half of the marketing sister duo.
Yes.
Have my sister Chelsea here with me. So you guys, we are excited to bring you guys another episode with a juicy topic, hopefully one that's going to help you out. Friendly reminder, if you have not subscribed already to this podcast, I'm going to give you 2 seconds to go ahead and hit pause and do it right now. Okay, you back? Did you do it? This helps us get this podcast in front of other small business owners. And y'all, we want nothing more than to build a community, a troop, an army of small business owners to take over the world now, to talk all things marketing, because we think it's extremely important that as small business owners, you guys know how to keep and manage your marketing in-house without having to go to expensive ad agencies or marketing agencies, because as you guys know, marketing changes. I mean, month to month, year to year, and you need to be able to just handle your marketing on your own.
Absolutely.
So Chelsea, what is our topic today?
Okay, today...
Before I forget, I always forget, TLDL, too long didn't listen. We have a chapter at the end of this podcast. If you're, on the run right now, you want to go ahead and listen to the synopsis of this episode. Go fast forward to the TLDL section. Too long didn't listen. Chelsea will give you a brief overview and then come back and listen to the entire episode, because I think, the conversation's where it's at, y'all.
Yeah.
You need to have context.
Yeah, that'll be very helpful, especially for this one, because, y'all, today we are being a little introspective. We're taking a second, and we're going to talk about how to keep up with your marketing, handle your marketing, continue to do it when you're in a funk.
Yeah, and if I'm being completely honest, y'all, I've been in a funk lately. I've been, in the struggle myself. So I get it. It's hard to show up when some days you're just tired. You're not, feeling it. So Absolutely. I'm not going to blame it on perimenopause or anything. I'm just going to, it's my own doing. But Chelsea's like, I don't even know what perimenopause is.
I thought it was just menopause. You're too young for menopause.
Yeah, perimenopause is the time before menopause. Like, apparently it's a big thing everyone's talking about these days.
Well, how much before? Like, there's a lot of time before menopause.
Yeah, well, but that's the thing is, okay, this is not that podcast, y'all.
No, we're not.
Yeah, so
we'll talk about, I'll ask Vivian these questions later. Let's talk about getting out of a funk. Okay.
With your marketing in particular.
If I'm being honest, I've been a little funky too. Yeah. It's just, sometimes, y'all, it's really hard to be creative.
Well, and especially when I think let's just be upfront about being a small business owner in 2025. It is not like being a small business owner in 2010, not even in 2015. No. What has happened over the years is that we are no longer just expecting small business owners to show up as, hey, the person that's responsible for running the business and managing all of the behind the scenes stuff. But now you guys also have to have a public facing persona. You guys also have to be interesting and have multi-dimensional personality, even though all you want to do is sit in the back and make the big decisions, right? But now you're forced to come up with creative ideas because you're trying to stop the scroll.
Yep.
Right? So I think it kind of pushes people. The reason that you started a small business was probably not to become a content creator and not to be an Instagram influencer.
Yeah.
Right? And so I think it's this part of now we have a responsibility where even if it's not us showing up, we're having to delegate and find someone that fits that role of like, you know, how do you become creative and try to leverage these platforms because it's smart.
Yes.
Right?
And necessary.
Yeah. So,
okay.
All right.
Yes. Let's get into my first piece of advice is going to be to search for inspiration outside of your bubble. So look outside your industry because it's great to look at what your competitors are doing, but sometimes that's not inspiring, that's not helpful. Then you can start doing the comparison game. Look outside of your industry and what other people are doing. This could definitely spark some creativity. I do this a lot when I'm in a slump when it comes to creating content, because now y'all don't steal people's ideas. Like, don't blatantly copy people. But when you see...
Unless you tag them, and then it's somewhat okay because you're giving them credit for the idea. Like, if you see a reel that inspires you...
Yeah. Okay,
you can tag the original creator.
Yes. There are nuances. My point is looking at what other people are doing can help you feel creative again.
Yeah, and this isn't anything new, you guys. Like, this is stuff that people have been doing forever. Think of it. Now, it wasn't always tied to social media. This was pre-social media days. Okay, think of it this way. You know, these products, these services, where now they ship you clothing. Like, what's one of them?
Like Stitch Fix.
Okay, Stitch Fix. Where do you think Stitch Fix probably got the inspiration from? All right. It may have been Netflix back in the day when they were, you know, mailing out DVDs and stuff, or just any of these businesses that are bringing a product to you via a subscription base. All right. There, before the Stitch Fix and all that, there really wasn't a clothing line that was doing that. It wasn't tailoring, you know, outfits to your body and your personality and your preferences and then shipping it straight to your door.
Yeah.
And so if we didn't draw inspiration from other industries, I think a lot of the businesses that we love today just wouldn't be in existence, right? Because they were thinking outside their industry and outside the scope.
Yes. And I'm glad that you bring up that it doesn't have to be about social media. Y'all, this doesn't have to be about social media. Is it very likely that that's where you're feeling the burnout and the funk? Because for social media, you have to create content constantly, and that's exhausting. This can just be for marketing in general. 𝘲𝑚.com.
Yes.
For email marketing. If you're feeling like you're in a slump with your email marketing and you can't get creative with your emails, you can go to 𝘲𝑚.com and you can see emails that other businesses are selling out, and you can use that to get creative. It does not have to be social media.
I love that you brought this example up because that's one that I regularly use. We have a client that I send emails out for every week. Okay. And as you can imagine, when you're promoting one particular very specific product, it sometimes can get hard to generate new ideas. But the reason I like going to 𝘲𝑚.com is it shows you the emails for bigger businesses or different types of businesses. So let's say I draw a lot of inspiration from these coffee brands that send out regular emails. And what I'm looking for a lot of times, I don't care what they're promoting or what the verbiage is. What I'm looking for is the fact that, like, they'll incorporate different types of features in there. So for example, a lot of them use GIFs. GIFs.
GIFs.
Okay, whatever.
I mean, so the original creator came out and said that it's GIFs, but he's wrong, so it's GIFs.
I mean, obviously, because you're right and he's wrong, right?
Yes.
Even though he created it. But so the GIFs, they will actually incorporate them at the top. And I thought, great, like there's probably a way. So I kind of keep that idea, put it in my back pocket. And then later on when I'm creating the emails down the road, I may not use it that week, but at least I have that source of inspiration where I'm like, oh, I know at some point if I wanted to show the product, I can create a GIF of it, a GIF of it.
No, it's
changing, of it changing, right? Or morphing. And I could put that at the top of the email. And so I think it is important where if you have a treasure trove, Facebook ads library, you guys, if you did not know, if you're wanting to run an ad in Facebook, maybe this is where you're bumping up against that. What do you call it? When you can't think of ideas.
Like roadblock, artist block, writer's block.
Writer's block. Maybe that's where you're bumping up against it. Facebook ads has a whole library that you could go in and all you have to do is put the business name in there. It will show you all the ads that they ran within a certain year. And you can actually click on it and see the copy they used, the imagery they used, if there were certain colors. All of that is really important just because I think sometimes we could be our own worst enemy because we think we have to come up with the thing. It's okay to be influenced by other people. That's all right.
Yes, absolutely. Also, Vivian, you don't have to create anything new.
Yeah.
Yeah. Repurpose your old content. People are not scrolling past like your first
10.
couple, like the first 10 reels that you have on your profile. People are not going to remember, even if they're following you, they're not going to remember a video that you posted like a couple of weeks or months ago. If it was a good quality video and you loved it and it worked really well, or you think that you can make some changes to it, go ahead and repurpose it.
Yeah, I do think this is a biggie because first, I want to remind you guys, if nothing more, Chelsea and I are here to remind you, you make up the damn rules. Okay, you make up the damn rules. Okay, do not be putting these self-imposed rules on yourself where it's making it harder for you to do something. Great, you had a reel, you had a blog post that did really well, you had a YouTube video that did great. Could you repurpose it, or is there a version of that you could tweak just a little bit, make it fresh, make it new, and repurpose that content? Or lots of people do this, and I know you guys know what I'm talking about. On Instagram, they'll do the casual, here's a look back at exactly 1 year from now, and it's the video that made them go viral, so they're reposting it so they could, I don't know, get some more virality out of it. But that's the whole thing is there are no rules. You're allowed to repurpose the content. You're allowed to tweak it. You're allowed to get, the good parts of it and think of different creative ways to go ahead and use it. If you find that a format along those lines, if a format is working extremely well, turn it into a series.
Yes.
All right. That's something you and I have to figure out. We got
I know.
Yeah. I posted one out of a series and I had intended to make it a 5-part series. I did 1 out of 5, you guys. I still plan to do the other 4. I just got derailed by myself. No one else derailed me. I derailed myself.
I love that you brought up that you can like make it a series or all that stuff. Go listen. If you have not listened to our episode about reuse, recycle, repurpose, go listen to that because there's nuance to this. There are different ways that you can repurpose something. Like you can take the information in your blog post, turn it into a reel. You can take the reel, make tweaks to it, and then reshare it. Like there are different ways that you can reuse, recycle, repurpose your content.
Isn't there a recycle, reuse, I guess that's...
Reuse and recycle?
Yeah, never mind.
Is there another one? Is it 3? Reuse, recycle.
No, it's recycle, reuse.
Recycle, reuse. Reduce, reuse, recycle.
Okay.
Y'all, okay. Our bad. My bad. I was saying it like that because in the title of that podcast episode is like a play on that. So I will add it in the show notes, and I'll add it right here in the video if you're watching the video. So go listen to that episode because we help you guys figure out how to just repurpose all of the content that you've created, because I bet you've created a bunch of content.
If you need a little nudge, you guys, while you're there, why don't you just go ahead and binge our entire podcast?
That works too.
just listen to all of the episodes, so that way when we refer back to previous ones, you already know, you're in the know.
Yeah,
okay,
exactly.
You know what we're referring to, because we do that pretty often around here. But
we do.
It's if anything, it's because marketing is all interrelated. Okay.
Yes.
You can't talk about one topic without bringing up like 3 other ones.
Exactly. Absolutely. Also, this is a wonderful time to give yourself kudos. Because let's be honest, your older videos probably, y'all, looking back at like our first episode, like I'm glad we did the damn thing, you know?
Yeah.
Like I'm so happy that we're together and we create this podcast.
Oh, I hate to tell you, you're my sister. Like, you can't get rid of me even if you wanted to. Like, where would I go?
That's a good point. Yeah. Stuck here. Anyways, what I'm trying to say is, oof, rough. Looking back at some of our older content, even just like content that I've created, I am so proud of the growth. I feel like the content I'm creating now is a lot cleaner and better overall. And I bet you when you go back and you look at your past content, you will also agree. And I think when you do that, don't go, oh my God, look at how bad this was. Go, wow, look at how much I've grown.
Yeah.
Because that's the important part.
If you want to laugh at my expense, go over to the YouTube channel, go to YouTube and look up The Seasoned Marketer and go to the category and list it by oldest video. That video that I posted, it was awful. Like I feel like I was robotic. Like I didn't know what I was doing. It was so weird. But to Chelsea's point, like I had to start somewhere, right?
Yeah.
Okay. But to her point, there have been times where I honestly have thought I could easily go back. For one, I'm proud too. Okay. So the key advice that Chelsea just gave under this bullet point was give yourself kudos.
Yes.
Okay. Because you're doing a lot to create content. And this is kind of new to all of us, especially because I don't know, when I was going to college, there was no content creation class. Okay.
Yeah.
And I went to school for marketing and international business. And there was no talk, believe it or not, of the freaking internet back then. Okay. There was no like, you know, hey, this is how you write a blog post. None of that. SEO. This is what SEO is. Nothing.
Well, I'll tell you right now, when I went to college, like we didn't have like a social media class. I'm sure they do now.
Oh, now it's like a whole thing.
Yeah, exactly. But when I went to college, and I went to college like not that long ago.
Yeah.
Yeah, like I graduated in 2019.
So if you're listening to this, chances are you may not have even gone to school for marketing. And so that's even further, you know, you're like, I sure as heck was not going to get, you know, social media or content creation courses in an engineering class or in a art class or whatever you went to go be your thing. It probably did not involve anything to have to do with the world we live in today and how it's morphed.
Absolutely. Yeah. Or you didn't go to college.
Yeah, exactly. Yeah. And so that's where hopefully, you know, not being bossy and telling y'all what to do, but that's why you kind of need to subscribe to this podcast. So that way you can, so you could keep up with it, right? Because you need a source of information. But that's going back to Chelsea's original thing. That's why you guys need to give yourself a big pat on the back because you are figuring the thing out. Yeah. You are creating the content and you're learning all of this while running a business.
Yeah.
Shucking, while keeping up with sales and expenses and profits and probably hiring and firing people. all the things, and maybe hopefully sending out weekly emails to an email list. I mean, it's all a lot.
It is.
So great job. The other thing though to that, and the reason I brought up my YouTube, my first YouTube video is there have been times where when I see my growth, I go in there, the topic was good. And that's why we talk about evergreen topics, like things that are just never really going to change.
Yes.
There are some evergreen marketing tips that are never really going to change too much. And those, like, let's say one of the videos I did early on was on customer acquisition cost, CAC, CAC. Okay, that's a formula that doesn't change. Why are you laughing?
I just think that's so funny. CAC.
CAC? Yeah.
CAC. I'm sorry.
That's a formula that doesn't change, right? And it's, as a small business owner, it behooves you to know what your customer acquisition cost is, because then you can appropriately decide which marketing channels will actually give you profit, right?
Yeah.
Like you need to make a little money off of it.
Yeah.
So I could easily go back and redo that same darn topic, probably use the same scripting, the same verbiage, and just present it better now because I'm a better presenter today than I was 7 years ago.
Yeah.
All right. So that's another maybe source of inspiration where if you look back at the beginning of your journey and you're like, oh, I could easily talk about that again, or I can easily do a blog post on that. And this time I'd do it better.
Stop wasting your time Googling how to market my small business.
Join the S.O.B community. Get templates, expert advice, weekly Zoom calls with us, and a supportive group of other business owners for, get this, just $50 a month.
Marketing doesn't have to be hard when you have help. Head over to www.school.com/SOB. That's SKOOL.com/SOB, all lowercase. Join today and feel confident in your marketing. My next one, you've already kind of talked about, and it's go back to the basics. Kind of reflect a little bit. Now, yes, go back to the basics and look at your evergreen content, things that you can recreate that is going to be the same. I also want to go back to the basics and give yourself a second and think, what does my target audience want to see from me?
Oh, so you're talking about when you're feeling like, I've just run out of ideas. I can't really, I'm kind of stuck.
Yeah.
You're saying, put yourself in the shoes of the person that is your target audience. Yeah. And just very simply ask yourself, what would I be looking for?
What do I need to answer? Yeah. Just stop trying to be overly creative. Stop trying to be complicated about it. Put yourself in your consumer's shoes. Say, what do I want to know from this business? And answer that.
And let me add something to this because I'm the queen of complicated, y'all. Okay. Nice to meet you. I currently hold the crown. There is something to be said. Okay. Think of it this way. There's a company that I follow. They do a journal, but so they do planners.
Okay.
But the planners, they're reaching.
I thought you were saying they write a journal. Kind of like a blog, and I was just going to let it go. But no. They create planners.
They sell planners like calendars and stuff like that. But they are now targeting like Christian women. And what they have found, because I love every bit of their marketing, their messaging is just like so on point, and the way they style everything and in their copy and all that, it speaks to that person that's looking for that type of a planner, because it's also tied in with like spiritual growth and this and that. In there though, on their email list, on their social media, it's something as simple as them just posting an Instagram inspirational post. That's one sentence.
Okay.
And because they know that their target audience is looking for inspiration, right?
Okay.
They're looking for more than just like the product that they're selling. So the reason I bring this up to you guys is to say this. If you're putting yourself in the shoes of that target audience, maybe the type of information and content, if you're overthinking it, it could just be as simple as posting something that's inspirational, that reaches them and makes them feel seen. Right?
Yes.
And so I think for us, that's something that we could actually, and we've started to kind of incorporate in our social media posts, just a little more of like, hey, you got this, because we know small business owners are so overwhelmed and it can be so chaotic and stressful that in order to tap into a small business owner that could utilize our marketing resources, we'd have to figure out and attract the small business owner that's feeling stressed out, right?
Yeah. Okay, Vivian, my next tip, I don't know if people are going to like it or not, have a schedule.
Oh, yeah.
Yeah, I know people don't like to schedule content because they feel like it interrupts the creativity and stuff like that. But when you're feeling like you're kind of in a rut, having a schedule kind of forces you to do the thing. So, for example, we have a weekly podcast, as you're aware. Sometimes we have trouble thinking of topics, but we figure it out because we have to, because it's every single week.
I love that you're
not an
so
option.
intense. You're like, we figure it out.
Well, but it's true, though. Like, we figure it out.
Yeah.
Because we have to, because it's a schedule. Sometimes having a schedule will make you do the thing.
Let me give you a different perspective on this.
Okay. So not as aggressive. Go ahead.
Not as aggressive. I mean, even though I could try to deliver it in a very aggressive way.
You don't have to. I don't mean to come off aggressive, y'all. I'm sorry.
She's just born that way.
Yeah.
I'm a little spicy chalupa.
Excuse me?
All right. So here's the thing is, the other side of this is having a schedule also kind of forces you to keep your eyes open to inspiration when you're not close to the scheduled date. So for example, on Sundays, we send out a weekly email to our subscribers. If you're not on that email list and you want more marketing news, information, and tips, go ahead and subscribe to that. We send it out every Sunday. Because I know I have to hit send on Sundays, throughout the week, I actually kind of in the back of my head think, what topic do I want to cover this week?
Yeah.
Or what type? And it allows me to also work on the email. Let's say if I have downtime on a Wednesday, I'll start putting the email together, not have it completed, but then know that I'm already ahead of the game.
Yeah.
And so then I feel less pressure on, you know, Friday night, Saturday night to sit down and write it because I've already started it. But it also, that schedule forces me to be on the lookout for topics that I want to cover or for ideas or inspiration that then I can use in that weekly email.
Yes.
So it just forces you to keep your eyes open.
Yeah.
It forces you to keep your eyes open. Okay, is that aggressive enough?
I didn't like that. I think this is bullying.
I mean, go ahead and contact HR.
Schedules don't have to be like overly complicated. It could just be you saying, I want to post a reel every Friday, or I want to post a carousel every Wednesday. Like just forcing yourself to keep to that schedule can help you force yourself to get creative. I mean,
lots of forcing going on around here.
I mean, sometimes you need it. If you're in a funk, sometimes you just need to like.
Yeah. The other thing is when you're in a funk too, I think what can be extremely helpful is, all right, so let's say that you don't do well with making big decisions because you feel like they're daunting.
Sure.
Actually creating a day and room in your schedule where you are doing that daunting thing can help over time desensitize you from feeling that way about the thing. Does that make sense?
No,
so like if I find it super overwhelming to make big decisions, then maybe I force myself once a week On a Monday, I wake up 30 minutes earlier and I force myself to do those hard decision-making things, because then the rest of the week I don't have to worry about it. And if something pops up on a Thursday, I know I can address it Monday morning, right?
Yep.
I can say, oh, I'm not going to tax my brain about that right now. I'll worry about it Monday morning. And then I have those 30 minutes to force myself to do it. But then over time, your feelings start to change about it, because then you get used to, on a weekly basis, doing the thing. And then you're like, oh, it's not so scary anymore.
Yeah.
Or I may actually start to enjoy it a little more. Go figure.
Love that. Yeah. Okay. Last bullet point that I have: use your community. Reach out for help. Sometimes you might just need help. And that could be getting all your employees together and saying, let's brainstorm all together, marketing. It could be joining the S.O.B community.
What? We have a community?
We do.
What?
We have a community called the S.O.B community, where
I feel like she's about to bully you guys into joining. Do it, Chelsea. Do it.
I will. Okay. Look, y'all, first off, it's all small business owners. All of you are going through the same thing. You can talk with one another. There's a discussion board. Once a week, we have an hour-long Zoom call where we answer all your questions. So Vivian and I are on there too. So you can ask us like specific marketing questions, or you could just ask for brainstorm help. Like, let's all brainstorm some ideas. And the other small business owners are on there too. They are also willing to give you support. We're all here to help one another. We also have, of course, templates, tutorials, video, little courses, an entire resource
Excel spreadsheet.
Full of resources. My point is, if you need help, it is not bad. It is not, I don't want to use the word shameful, because that's like really strong, but like it's okay to ask for help.
Yeah. And I'm in the same boat as you guys sometimes, to what Chelsea's referring to, not the shameful part, but it's a version of that where it almost feels like we do it to ourselves because we have these type A personalities and we are so, I think we like being driven. We like having original ideas. There's a sense of pride in doing things on your own and figuring it out, which might be why you guys aren't outsourcing certain things. But this community, in any community, not just ours, but the reason Chelsea's saying, hey, you know, asking for help or taking a team approach is much better is because I think at our human basic level, we are not intended to go through things on our own.
Yeah.
Okay. We are people that we rely on community to help generate good ideas. We feed off of each other's energy. We feed off of each other's ideas. And I hate to tell you guys, if you think you're the smartest person in the room, you're wrong. Okay. You are wrong. And you are only going to get better. What do they say? Iron sharpens iron.
I've never heard that.
Yeah. Okay. It's like you only get better if you surround yourself by people that are going to raise your level of thinking.
Okay.
And what I love about our community in real life, like the day-to-day that happens week to week, is they show up either with questions, concerns, or ideas. And they talk to each other about these ideas. Like, hey, what did you find works on those TikTok videos? Or what do you do? Do you have an app or a platform on the back end to a Shopify, website? They get to discuss all this on their own. And I think there's just so much value in that. If you guys are feeling a little isolated, a little lonely, find a community, even if that's a business bestie that you guys, invite out for coffee once in a blue moon, or in Chelsea's case, tea, because she's not allowed to have caffeine. Then go ahead and do that. But just find people that are in the trenches too.
Yeah.
Doesn't have to be in the same industry, but someone that's going to understand that sometimes it can be hard and stressful to own a business.
Yeah.
And especially we want to be there for the marketing side of things because we know it changes all the time. And we just want to be that place you guys come to say like, hey, you know, if they're changing, Google's changing something yet again, what do I need to do? Great. Let us do the research for you and serve it up to you in a nice little package.
Which we will do. A lot of times, our community members will come to us with a question. We're like, oh, we actually don't know the answer. We will answer it next week.
Yeah. Or we'll post it in the forum so everyone can see the answer and response to, and we'll tag whatever article or source we're pulling it from. So,
Yep.
All right. So as we're rounding out this conversation, Chelsea, and before you jump into that TLDL, too long didn't listen, you guys, the synopsis, I do want to make one last point here.
Okay.
Even if you don't think it, being a small business owner requires creativity. Okay. Whether that be creativity in the way that you approach problems, negative press, you know, customer feedback, whatever it is, it requires creativity outside of just like creating Instagram reels and stuff.
Yeah.
And if you are feeling like you're stuck and you can't get past this thing, sometimes disconnecting, creativity requires downtime.
Yeah.
This might be an indication that you need to rest a little bit. This might be an indication that you need to disconnect, give yourself a little bit of breathing room. Maybe it's taking a full Sunday off to just spend it doing something you like to do, like going to the beach, maybe going and catching a football game, eating some chicken wings, not worrying about running the business. You have to have those pockets of downtime in order for it to fuel the creative parts of you. So please do not keep suppressing that. Please do not keep putting that off. If you are feeling stuck, just check in with yourself and say like, hey, am I getting enough time alone? Am I getting enough time to fill my tank and do the thing that, you know, keeps me going? Because what are we doing if we are not enjoying life?
Yeah.
Okay. So that's my little pep talk. All right, Chelsea.
Okay.
TLDL.
Okay. You skipped ahead to this section. This is the TLDL, too long didn't listen. We're glad you're listening to the synopsis, but when you get a chance, when you have time, go back and listen to this entire conversation. So today we talked about what you can do if you are in a funk, if you're not feeling creative in your marketing. So I'm going to list it out, okay? This is why you need to go back and listen to the entire conversation, because a list is not going to be enough. You want to hear the conversation. Okay. You can search for inspiration outside of your bubble. You can create and have a schedule. You can go back to the basics and reflect. You can repurpose old content. You can ask for help, give yourself some grace, and you can disconnect in case you need time to recover, because this is a lot of work. Being a small business owner is a lot. So sometimes you need a break. So those are ways that you can help yourself get out of that funk and get creative again with your marketing. Just as a reminder, if you guys have a topic that you want us to talk about, please let us know. You can email us at help@theseasonmarketer.com. You can send us a DM on social media. We're at The Season Marketer. Or you could leave a comment if you're watching on YouTube or Spotify.
And if you're in the giving mood, send this episode to a friend, to a business friend.
Yes.
Okay. We want to build a community. We want to help each other out, support each other. You know, you need to have someone that you can lean on. If you found this episode helpful, go ahead and share it with a business owner that you love.
Yes. And go be the best SOB you can be.